everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. It's Tuesday, and the patch notes for patch 8.24 have been posted, and that means it's time for another patch note rundown. As always, I'll be going through the biggest changes in this week's patch, and letting you guys know what you can be looking forward to in the coming weeks. 8.24 is the last official full patch of the year, so we will still have 8.24b, which will come out in a couple weeks, but 8.24b will only include balance changes, and specifically changes that may not be in this patch, and addressing things that this patch did not. So it doesn't really count as a full patch. This will be the last full patch of the year. Its general focus is trying to knock down champions that have been performing way too well for either way too long or who recently got buffed by all the preseason changes, so Riot can get a better sense for where the preseason is actually sitting and what kind of systemic changes they might need to make. In addition, 8.24 includes the Snowdown event. It will be on this patch. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started talking about the changes. Starting off with champions. First and foremost, Neeko is going to be on this patch. The Curious Chameleon will be playable probably by tomorrow, so we'll be looking forward to seeing that. She should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to try her out. Moving on to actual balance changes, Akali is being nerfed on this patch. Riot are trying to find ways to address the frustration her opponents feel when playing against her, but in the meantime, they're just trying to nerf her aggressive shroud use in order to make it a little bit easier to deal with her. Akali's W duration now scales from 4 to 6 seconds, as opposed to 5 to 7 seconds, and can only extend the duration by 2 seconds instead of 3. So it should be a little bit easier, and you'll have a little bit better ways to play around Akali when she uses her shroud offensively. Camille is being nerfed on this patch as well. Riot are hitting her camp clearing in order to tone down jungle Camille without unduly hitting top lane Camille. Her base attack speed is the only thing that has been changed. It has been reduced, but this change should mean that she'll take more damage while dealing camps because she won't be able to clear them quite as quickly, and it will ultimately make her jungle a lot less safe and a lot less strong. So we'll have to see how that ultimately plays out, hopefully without nerfing top lane Camille too much. Galio is being pretty massively changed on this patch. Riot are trying to reduce his coordinated strengths while also increasing his solo queue effectiveness, so he should be worse in professional or competitive play, but better in just regular solo queue. His Q's mana cost has been reduced and the wind blast damage has been increased. His tornado no longer deals any flat damage, but instead deals % max HP damage scaling with his AP. His E's windup has been slightly reduced and the dash speed has been increased, and it will also deal reduced damage to non-champions now. R finally no longer grants damage reduction to the ally that he targets, and no longer has a sweet spot, which means all enemies struck by it will be knocked up for the same duration. These are some pretty large changes to Galio. I think generally speaking, a nerf to Galio. I think that not having the damage reduction on the ally is a huge deal, but we'll have to see where he does land after these changes. It isn't necessarily a bad thing. Moving on to a bit of an underloved champion, Illaoi. She's getting buffed up so she can compete with her top lane competition, which has gotten a lot stiffer as of the preseason. Her E's cooldown has been decreased at earlier ranks, and her R's cooldown has been decreased at later ranks, so it should give Illaoi more opportunities to trade in lane and also more teamfighting prowess in the late game. Aurelia is being nerfed on this patch. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this. Her durability is being reduced so opponents can actually trade with her in lane. Her W's cooldown has been increased and its damage reduction is down to 40% from 50%. Additionally, it doesn't grant a passive stack on casts anymore, so it should allow champions to trade with her a little bit more effectively. LeBlanc's being nerfed on this patch as well. The preseason didn't nerf her that hard because of Dark Harvest being ridiculously overpowered. So in addition to the Dark Harvest nerf later in this patch, Riot are also nerfing LeBlanc by herself. Her W's cooldown has been increased at earlier ranks, so it should give opponents a lot more opportunities to trade with her without having to worry about being dashed on, and also giving her a little bit more vulnerability to ganks. Victor is being nerfed on this patch. Riot are trying to shut down his harass in the top lane while also buffing his mid lane power. His Q's cooldown has been increased and the missile's base damage has been reduced. Meanwhile, his E's cooldown has been decreased and the AP ratio has been increased. This should ultimately make Victor significantly less able to trade with things in the top lane, while also making him a little bit stronger in the mid lane. A few other important notes here, not necessarily balance changes, but important things to know. Clones will now have any debuffs that affect their owner when they're created. What this means is that if I'm Shaco and I use my R while I'm ignited, my clone will also have the ignite debuff on it. This should make it significantly harder for opponents to tell which is the clone and which is the real champion, and this change was basically instated because of Neeko coming out in this patch, but is technically slight buffs to Shaco, LeBlanc, Wukong, and the other champions I might have forgotten that have clones. New walk cycles have been added for a few champions. Alistar, Fiora, Karma, Shaco, and Victor all have a new walk cycle. Not necessarily base, but potentially relying on a few other animations. So Fiora now has a new walk animation without her boots. Karma has a new fast run animation, so on and so forth. I urge you to check these out on YouTube if you're interested. And Anivia, Mundo, Gragas, Renekton, and Teemo have all received updated particle effects, so they should be looking a little bit nicer. Moving on to a few other changes here. Dark Harvest is being nerfed on this patch, surprising literally nobody. Its base damage has been reduced by 20 at all levels, and it now cannot proc off of other procs. So Scorch and Liandry's Torment, for example, will no longer be able to apply Dark Harvest. However, Luden's will still be able to proc it because it is technically coded as another ability, so you will still be able to get Dark Harvest procs off of Luden's Echo. But generally speaking, this should hopefully be the power down that we all needed from Dark Harvest, without hopefully reducing its ability to be used at all. Additionally, on this patch, new ranked changes are going to be coming with this patch. That means that the new tiering system, including Iron and Grandmaster Division, as well as the move from 4 tiers to 5 tiers, or 5 tiers to 4 tiers, sorry, will be going in this patch. Additionally, the new placement system is available, and your ranked armor, whatever that is also going to be on this patch. So look forward to playing with those in the future. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching. Let me know which changes you're most excited for down in the comment section below. Would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you really enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well. And if you're looking for more Grab the Lantern content, you can check out my blog, which is linked down in the description. I upload an article just about each and every single day for your enjoyment. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I will talk to you all later.